Hey guys, you're welcome to yet another installment of the Football Gazette podcast. Muyiwa Joshua here, and I'm doing this alongside a regular face of the podcast. With me is Victor Olushola.
Yes,
How's it
sir.
going?
I'm good.
Manchester United.
This was on the plan. I don't understand.
Wait,
What was Manchester United?
Wait, you guys are still very much in the league, so it's just normal.
Well,
a conversation.
Unlike some other teams that have been relegated, safe for another
You're
season.
still afloat.
Yes, I do not afloat. I think at this point
Automatically, you're safe.
No words to describe Manchester United, honestly. But then it's exciting to be here again, and we're going to be talking football. Of course, the season is coming to an end shortly. We have very important things that we're going to be talking about, but I'm going to allow him to take lead on this one. As Man United, we are not in the first half of the table, so let me just.
You guys need to be reserved more than ever at this point in time.
Can we move on? Like,
yeah, Victor, we are now. It's again that time of the season where we see a new Premier League champions being crowned.
Absolutely, honestly.
After seeing the first, second, third, fourth time Manchester City lifting the the Premier League title.
Yeah, man.
Now it looks all red this time around.
Yes.
Looks
very
all
red. Very, very red.
No thanks to a certain unworthy title contender. Season in, season out.
Not title contender, butlers. I mean,
I actually read something yesterday online.
Okay.
So it says Jurgen Klopp will actually be surprised wherever he is now, knowing the fact that 2 seasons he actually accrued 97 points, 93 points,
and didn't win
all to just stay second.
Yeah.
Playing second fiddle to Manchester City. To imagine Ancelotti is doing that now. Instead of winning the Premier League with 80 points, that says a lot.
Well, I think it's a Pep Guardiola thing and a Man City thing, honestly. It's the Man City effect. That I think all round, all the teams in the Premier League this season knew that Man City were not at the top of their game.
Yeah.
Even those that were not title contenders, everybody knew. It was evident. And no sorry to Arsenal as well, who are best in second. I mean, so far so good. 2023-24, even this year now, second positions. They have been consistent. We need to give them,
but Victor,
some kudos.
You know what? I could have sworn
that
in any season, Manchester City was going to be having maybe their heads really low, just like they're having it this season.
Maybe an Arsenal would have
stepped
up
just
to the game,
usurped them, not Liverpool.
I think it just encapsulates who Arsenal really is. Arsenal is not there to contend for the title, if you ask me. Arsenal, I feel, even from the days of Arsene Wenger, they've always had this mentality of let's just stay in the league, let's just make the top four. And it's like a tradition for them. And I feel like subconsciously, now they might not realize or agree with me.
It's grown into the system.
It's embedded tradition in the club already. It's going to take a very long time before they can
that mentality can be broken.
Exactly. So I feel like they are settled to an extent because they had their best
But
season.
do you still see Mikel Arteta as the man to change that mentality to winning things, especially the Premier League?
Possibly. I think he has what it takes, honestly, because he's proven himself over time. I mean, they are still in the Champions League against all odds. They defeated Real Madrid on both legs, home and away. And of course, they still have a chance in the coming season with the set of players they have. They have one of the youngest squad in the Premier League, and there's still some future in the team.
Just with a couple of additions, then we might see us.
There is still some future in the team, and we're having some players, pick up some exciting and interesting run of form. I mean, look at a certain Declan Rice who's been, stepping up to the game in very important matches. Odegaard is I don't know. I think Odegaard is under-talked about in that Arsenal team.
You think so?
Honestly. Because that guy is influential. I feel like he has most impact off the bench than any other Arsenal player this season.
I want to believe so. And little wonder why he's the captain of the side as well.
Fantastic guy, honestly. But then Arsenal title contenders, they need to just erase that. Just give themselves some other name.
So you mentioned something earlier that you actually believed Mikel Arteta could change the whole mentality.
Yes.
But how many more years are we to stay to see that happen?
Well, if you ask me, we need to take ourselves back to how long Liverpool had to wait for this to happen.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Before 2020.
Yes,
now
exactly.
5 years
after. So can Arsenal wait it out for that long? Because with Arsene Wenger, they did. I mean, for a very long time, and they were just.
I think it took Liverpool 30 years before that trophy in 2020.
Do you understand how long it has to take now for a club like Arsenal, who doesn't have the winning mentality?
But then, I won't be surprised if Manchester United come out from nowhere to win the Premier League before Arsenal. Honestly, that's no jibes. That's no jibes. And I'm actually serious with that. Manchester United can just spring up from. I don't know.
Who is springing up?
Manchester United.
Yes, the board. Where are they taking off from?
Well, you might find it you know what, you might find it difficult to believe. But I think it's something that can happen. Let me say it's bound to happen.
With the set of players we have at the club at the moment.
Forget about it. It will take
what?
2 transfers. Probably a summer transfer and a winter transfer to fix Manchester United problem.
So what do you think would happen during those transfer windows?
For Arsenal?
No, for Manchester United. That will make them title contenders.
Well, I think if they actually do things right.
I feel like this Man United just needs to have a game plan.
A game plan?
They need to have.
So you think they are okay with the set of players they have at their disposal?
They are not okay. Like I'm saying, even the set of players now at the moment, they have not been integrated into the coach's game plan for now. And if you ask me, even if you're going to lay off players from Man United, you're not going to lay off a lot of players from this
I think
squad.
It should be a complete overhaul.
Really?
Yeah. So Victor, in all of this, Liverpool just needs a single point against lackluster Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur.
Why does it have to be Spurs? I think it's just 1 point from the Premier League.
Just 1 point from Tottenham Hotspur. Do you think Tottenham Hotspur can actually do any miracle out of nowhere to stop or to deny or delay that title celebration?
I like the phrase "out of nowhere" because Spurs actually have to take it out of nowhere because they don't have it in them. They don't have what it takes to stop this Liverpool from winning the title. Now, do you know why I say so? It is against all odds because Liverpool play at Anfield, and I believe that all Liverpool fans worldwide would prefer winning the league title
at home
after 5 years at the Anfield.
Not even 5 years, it should be 35. As at 5 years ago, no stadium. I mean, no fans in the stadium.
Okay, yes, it was COVID year.
Yeah. It's like after 35 years.
So are you saying that league title was not,
well, it still counts for something. No. It still counts for something, but then
the question you asked me, I don't think Spurs have it in them at all. They can't spoil anything from anywhere. Honestly, they don't have the capacity to stop this Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool are pumped for the game this weekend. They want to do everything they can. You said they did just 1 point. That means a draw gives them the title. I feel like they will get all 3 points, all maximum points against Spurs. It will be a game of David versus Goliath, honestly, because Spurs. I'm telling you, they're going to dismantle Spurs come the weekend and win the league, and in very embarrassing fashion, if I must add.
But then, some way, I might not totally agree with you because football has got this very cruel way of turning things around.
It has, but
I don't know, some way, somehow. I just feel Tottenham can, out of nowhere, spring something out.
Let me tell you why Tottenham cannot spring something. Did you watch Tottenham's last game?
Well, they've been in total shambles in recent games.
Absolutely.
Not in their last game alone.
Yeah, exactly. Now, they've been very inconsistent. Now, this Spurs of this season is reminding me of the Spurs of Pochettino, who had, players, back and forth.
Towards the latter days of
Exactly, towards the latter days. But then nothing to write home about. Also reminds me of the Spurs of, what's his name now? Jose Mourinho. Nothing to write home about at the end of the day. So I feel like this weekend,
looks like these particular Spurs are now prioritizing their journey in Europe than the Premier League. I win something in my second year looks still very much intact.
Whichever journey they prioritize. This weekend, the journey comes to an end.
They are still very much in the Europa League.
Yes.
And hopefully it looks as though they might just be meeting Manchester United in the Europa League final.
Why did you have to mention Manchester United again?
Well, that's because I feel some way you guys might just do one past Bilbao.
Well, Chelsea's in the conference league. Let's see how far they go.
Why do you have to mention Chelsea?
Because
it's really sad.
And they need just 1 point.
I trust a certain Chelsea. A certain Chelsea wouldn't have given up like some certain Reds from London. Honestly, and that's.
But Chelsea and Arsenal have played the same number of games this season.
No. It doesn't matter. Football doesn't.
The leagues are the same thing.
I oftentimes don't like to hear that statement.
Why?
No. Because we have to, at some points in the season, we have to just be comfortable with the reality. The reality of
what's
things.
The reality?
Regardless of we all took off at the same time. Okay, tell me, Manchester United, Tottenham, who are languishing very low on the table.
No, they've had
the same time with Manchester City.
Of course, yes. Of
Arsenal,
course,
Liverpool.
Chelsea at the point in time, we are 4 points away from the top.
Okay.
How far away from the top
They
are
went
they
deep
now?
in form.
Yeah. What happened to them?
Okay, before the season started,
Yes.
would you ever have imagined Chelsea occupy that particular position, even where they are
With the
presently?
kind of transfer window they had, of course, yes.
With the kind of
Yes.
transfer window?
Yes,
With
with
the
the kind of transfers
championship
they had.
manager coming in?
No, come on, don't do that.
It was a total rebuild.
No, it
In the
was
summer.
a total rebuild. But then we knew that these players knew their onions. They knew what they had to do.
And you think all of a sudden they will gel in no time?
Compared to a certain Man United, whose players, most of the players were let out of the club. Even those that were still left in the club are not players that you can look up to, for delivering any good results at the end of the day. So I feel like it's not far-fetched when you want to say that the season started together, all the clubs had the same opportunity.
But then I don't know, personally, I don't like that, because I think
it's a statement of fact, because
it's the fact, because we all started
We all
zero,
played.
but at some point we need to just embrace our reality.
If the team is not good, the team is not good.
Exactly,
No
that's
excuses.
my point. If your team is not good or doing well, but you guys are not doing well,
We can excuse some certain things. Okay, are we going to say the same thing for a certain Southampton?
well, we all started the league together. Like you said, yeah, that's what you said. We all started the league together,
Okay,
regardless of the money spent.
Oh, so we should just look at it like that, okay, this team is not just capable of delivering in the league.
Exactly. So see, a certain Leicester City was with a relatively unknown players,
True.
and they went on to win the
Fact.
Premier League.
Fact.
So the
that's
team
in
is
certain
not doing well.
But that's
they're
when
not doing well.
Leicester City now is back to the championship.
It doesn't matter. I mean, well, they might be one of the most relegated teams in the Premier
Honestly,
League.
I
But then
actually sad.
I think,
Their story is sad. It's a sad story.
well, a
It's a sad
certain
story.
Jamie Vardy after
I mean,
13 years.
No, I mean, fantastic run. If you were the one,
would say goodbye to
leave
Leicester.
the stage when the ovation is allowed. Honestly.
So, guys, that's the much you won't be able to take on today's installment of the podcast. Till some other time, do stay good and safe. Peace out.